What's up, everybody? It is your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate you clicking on the video. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring the bell. Come along for the rest of the New York Giants season, as the Giants season is starting to hit our first bit of turbulence this year. Got off to a 6-1 start. We have lost 3 of our last 4 games and dealing with a lot of injuries and a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, just coming off a loss to the Dallas Cowboys, and now find ourselves in 3rd place in the division. Washington was able to get the dub yesterday. You can thank Atlanta for a terrible play call. Why are you throwing the ball from the 2-yard line with 40 seconds to go instead of just running the damn ball 3 straight times is beyond me. But the NFL is very weird. I don't know what else to say, but Washington came out with a win. They're 7-5. We're 7-4. The NFC East is the real deal. The AFC East is also the real deal. It's a couple of really good divisions here on the East Coast. The New York Giants obviously are trying to make the playoffs. There's no reason to not think that they would try to make the playoffs. And obviously, this game against Washington is absolutely crucial for the Giants to win. There's no question about that, because Washington is really the team that we're battling, the team that we have the ability to take out. We already lost to Seattle. Big ups to the Raiders, my brother-in-law's team, for beating Seattle yesterday. It was a big win for the Giants, because Seattle, owns a tiebreaker with the Giants, but now they're 1 game back at 6-5, and the Commanders are 7-5. Now, the Commanders play the Giants 2 straight games with a bye in between. We have Washington, Philly, Washington. It doesn't get any easier for the Giants. Washington is definitely on our level. They're very similar to us. They really are. They win ugly. They just win ugly. They find ways to do it. They want to muddy the game up. They want to slow it down. They want to run. They want to play defense. I mean, these two teams are mirror images of one another, right? You're not going to watch a ton of highlights of Taylor Heineke throwing the ball for 400 yards. You're not going to see Daniel Jones do that either. You're not going to see a couple of high-flying offenses in this game. There's no doubt about it. Now, the Giants are winning games this year by executing, by playing fundamental football, by not making mistakes. In 3 of the last 4 games, you've seen them make mistakes. They lost a turnover battle against Detroit. There's one game that the Giants were really bad. They were in the game in Seattle, 2 punt return fumbles by Richie James really took us out of that game. We are terrible against Detroit. I mean, we did everything wrong in that game against Detroit. And then Dallas, first half, we played really well, won the turnover battle. And in the second half, we couldn't stop Dallas. Horrible penalties that extended drives, playing man coverage on 3rd and goal from the 15 didn't make any sense to me. Again, I'm not going to get on the coaching staff. I think they've done a phenomenal job, but they've definitely had a couple of rough patches here in the last couple of weeks. The Giants get a couple of extra days west. Lord knows he needed a couple extra days to prepare for this game. It is at home. So the Giants really got to take advantage of this. There's no question. The defense has been what it is all year. The offense got to find a way to step up. And that is where we're going to have to look to Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Now, I know that our offensive line is beat up. Hopefully, Evan Neal is healthy for this game and Evan Neal could play. That would obviously be a major, major upgrade for us, to be a major help to get Evan Neal back at right tackle. But, Daniel Jones, if we're going to win, he's got to step it up. He's done it a lot this year. He has 5 game-winning drives. But the last couple of games, teams seem to have, been able to get to him. They forced a couple of turnovers, which is something he wasn't doing in previous games. And they've shut Saquon Barkley down a lot. Saquon really hasn't had the running lanes. Part of that, people are like, is Saquon Barkley tired? Maybe Saquon Barkley's gassed. No, maybe there's no Evan Neal on the right side of the line. You know what I mean? So losing Evan Neal was huge. But hopefully he's back. And one thing I can say is, I know every week changes, every year changes, but if you look at their careers, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley have both had really, really big games against Washington. Daniel Jones seems to play very well against this team, and he's going to have to do it again. If we have any chance to win this game, we're going to have to put up some points. Washington's not going to light the scoreboard up. I don't think either team's going to get away from one another, but both of these teams don't want to get down by 2 scores either, because neither one of them really built to come from behind like that. So the Giants have got to take it to them. The Giants have got to be physical. The Giants have got to win the physicality battle at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They got to put pressure on Taylor Heineke. He's prone to turn the ball over. You watch a game against Atlanta, he threw a terrible pass right into the middle, right into the zone. Just a line drive trying to through 4 defenders. After Washington had just come up with a stop and they were trying to get points before the half, he turned it right back over. So he's slippery. He's a gamer. He can run a little bit. He makes plays, but he can be a liability if you can get pressure on him. Brian Robinson's a tough runner. Antonio Gibson I like a lot. Washington's got a good running game. Those guys can go out and catch the ball. Robinson can catch it. Gibson can catch it. Of course, the guy that can catch it the most, the best catcher on their team, one of the best wide receivers in the league, Terry McLaurin. That's why losing to Dory Jackson really hurts. That is going to be the matchup that worries me more than anything else going to this game against Washington is Terry McLaurin. We're going to have to double team him. I don't know what else to do. You got to make sure he doesn't beat you. You got to make sure he doesn't beat you. You know, if Taylor Heineke can locate other receivers, if Samuels can do it, or Gibson or Brian Robinson, whatever, you can't let McLaurin get you. I mean, he's the guy. He's the one really dangerous receiver that they have. He's the one really big play guy that they have. Their defense is tough too. Again, these two teams are extremely equal. And, you know, we've seemed to play well against Washington. Again, Daniel Jones and Saquon have had their best games against Washington. But we're going to have to kind of change the way we do things. I don't want to see Wink blitzing on 3rd and 15, 3rd and 18. I don't want to see man coverage. I don't want man coverage on McLaurin when it's 3rd and forever. I'd rather them just play soft zone. I don't like the soft zone, but on 3rd and 18, I think it calls for it. Let them catch the ball underneath and make the tackle and get off the damn field. Because again, Washington's not an offense with a bunch of big plays. They're not going to beat you with a bevy of big plays. They're going to wear you down. They're going to smash you in the mouth, and they're going to try to do what we do. So the team that's able to take it to the other team is the one that's going to win this game. The team that wins the turnover battle is going to win this game. The team that executes the best is going to win this game, because both of these teams, when they execute, are tough. But when they turn the ball over, when they shoot themselves in the foot, when they're making mistakes, neither one of these teams really has the talent to overcome that. So it's going to be an absolute war. I expect it to be an absolute war. But if we're going to win this game, man, number 8, Daniel Jones has to step it up. There's no question. I would like to see him run the ball more. Now, listen, I don't want to put the quarterback in harm's way. I'm not asking Daniel Jones to do what Jalen Hurts does or Justin Fields, where they run the ball 15 to 20 times a game. I'm not asking for that, but I think if you give Daniel Jones 5 or 6 designed runs, it'll keep Washington's defense honest. It may make the linebackers hesitate a little bit, where you can get the tight end underneath the coverage or hit a quick slant, or, it can allow Saquon Barkley just that split second where he can get through the hole or he can make a big play, and then it gets the defense worried about Saquon, and everything else can go from there. Daniel Jones is going to have to make throws. Daniel Jones is going to have to make plays. We're going to have to rely on Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, because really they're the only 2 weapons we really have on offense. Richie James, actually not bad. Had a good game against Dallas. I know he can catch the ball. Just worry about him returning punts. I don't know where Kenny Golladay was against Dallas. I can't depend on Kenny Golladay. I was hopeful. I was so hopeful that Kenny Golladay, he sounded like he had a change of heart, sounded like he had that aha moment. Sounded like he was going to be extra determined. And maybe he is determined. He and Daniel Jones just have no rapport. Maybe he's running poor routes. Maybe he can't get open. Maybe Daniel Jones has no trust. And Kenny Golladay, I don't know what it is. I really don't. What I do know is that the New York Giants have absolutely have to win this game at home against Washington. Okay. Playing against Philadelphia, if they believe we're in, am I got that right? Are we in Washington, then Philly? I thought we played Philly on the road and then we finished with Philly at home. Is that? I forget the schedule, right? But regardless, wherever now we're playing Philadelphia, that is going to be incredibly tough. And again, the fact that the Giants have all these divisional games in a row, it's going to take a lot out of them. They can't overlook any of these opponents. They're all tough games. They're all physical games. A lot of hatred between the teams. And, like I said, the team that wins at the line of scrimmage and the team that wins the turnover battle is going to win this game. But if the Giants want any shot at the playoffs, they cannot afford to lose. They can't drop to 7 and have Washington go to 8-5 and own the tiebreaker. Because again, Washington's going to have a week off in between when they play us again. So they're going to see us once. They're going to be able to make adjustments. They're going to see us again after they rest up. Meanwhile, we have to play the best team in the NFC record-wise in the Philadelphia Eagles. So Giants have to win this game, man. 7-4. If somebody would have told me you were 7-4 at this point in the season, I would have been incredibly happy. I certainly would have settled for 7-4. But when you look at the fact that we started at 6-1 and now we're 7-4, that's not really the way you want to get to 7-4, but it is what it is. Those 11 games are behind us. Now we have to look forward to the next 6 games. We got to make this playoff push, and it starts with Washington. To me, this is a playoff game. This is going to be a playoff type atmosphere. And I think the New York Giants, if they want any shot at winning in the playoffs, they've got to win this game. Again, Washington, very even with us. We have Philly twice. Philly's better than us. Doesn't mean we can't beat Philadelphia, but you look at that roster. You look at our roster, man. Come on. Let's be honest. Minnesota, they're 9-2. They're another really good team. And the Colts have played a lot better since Jeff Saturday became the head coach. Hopefully by the time we play the Colts, maybe the honeymoon phase wears off and they're kind of not good again. I don't know, but no team is easy for the Giants. This 6-game stretch is certainly going to make or break us. We have the toughest schedule remaining in the NFL as far as I know, as far as strength of opponents. But hey, as you know, the guy once said, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. The Giants want to get to the playoffs. They're certainly going to have to earn their way to do it. And the first step to making the playoffs is beating Washington. And that'll be a massive step towards doing that, because you would have, a tiebreaker with Washington. You'd have, in essence, a 2-game lead on them at that point. Again, Seattle losing certainly helped the Giants as well. So Giants got to take care of business Sunday. It ain't going to be easy. And yeah, I'll be live for the Lakers tonight at 10:15. You want to come by for that. I'm going to try to do a lot more Giants videos here in the future, for the rest of the year. I know I've been kind of lacking on them, but there's some things I want to talk about as well. So anyway, that's all I got in this video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, share it out with a Giants friend and all that good stuff. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. It's Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace.